I'm dreaming of the road again, set free in the wind.
With temperatures climbing up into the 90s, our biggest goal this week is not growth. It's helping our garden and our ladies manage through this heat. So here are some simple, easy tasks that you can do to also help your garden and your flock during their heat wave. This will be one of my shorter videos, but I just want to delay some facts, that way you can navigate around this season. So chickens start experiencing heat stress at 85 degrees and face severe risk of heat stroke or death above 95 degrees. Because chickens lack sweat glands, they rely on panting and holding their wings out to release body heat. I have a little bit of footage of them panting and a few clips to where you can see where the wings are doing that. They're trying to regulate their body heat. During heat waves, they will also eat less and consume 2 to 4 times more water. Hydration is critical. Water intake increases dramatically. If possible, keep waters in the shade and refill them with cool water daily. Chickens will not drink water that is 10 degrees warmer than their body temperature. In this case, I had on hand cantaloupe, and it is an excellent treat that will help chickens during a heat wave. It provides critical hydration and vitamins, and freezing it beforehand makes it even more effective at lowering their core temperature. I did not get an opportunity to do this, but if you do, cut it up in chunks and put it in the freezer for a little bit. That way it does benefit them better. Cantaloupe is also high in water content. Cantaloupe is roughly 90% of water, which actively helps prevent dehydration. It also has vitamins A, B, and C to help support chickens' immune systems under heat stress. And it's low in protein, so it provides the quick energy without causing the high digestive heat that comes from grains or heavy feeds. That being said, limit certain foods. Digestion generates body heat. Avoid feeding the scratch, cracked corn, or whole grains during the hottest parts of the day, which egg production drops. Heat stress dramatically affects laying. Hens will lay fewer eggs, and the ones they do lay may have thinner, fragile shells. A few signs that you should educate yourself on when it comes to your flock is the pale comb. The comb and wattles shrink, losing their bright red color, which, for a fun fact, it is beneficial if you have a source of water where they can dunk their comb. It benefits them so much, so you need to get rid of those watering pans to where they push with their beaks. When beak, panting, weak spreading, sitting motionless in shade, unresponsive, limping, or staggering. There are so many signs, so the sooner you recognize this, the better you can, and if anything, just offer them plenty of treats that benefit their water intake. Now that we are suffocating with heat and our creek is drying up and our chickens and everything else is suffering, let's go on and talk about the garden. I grew up hearing that you could not water during the afternoon. You need to either do it in the morning or evening, and that is actually a myth, because people would say that the water droplets magnify the sun and burn the leaves, and that is a myth. Getting foliage wet during the day can waste water to rapid evaporation and leave plants susceptible to diseases. So with that being said, make sure to do a finger test with the soil and water the soil directly. Many plants like tomatoes and squash will naturally droop in the afternoon to conserve moisture, even if the soil is perfectly fine. This rule is golden if your plants are actively wilting or the soil is bone dry. In my case, I have a full sun session going on right now, so my plants are wilting, and in some areas my soil is bone dry. So for the finger test, about 2 to 3 inches into the soil, if the dirt is dry at that depth, go ahead and give them a deep drink if the soil is moist. The plants are just sheltering from the sun and will bounce back on their own during the evening time. Also, a quick little tip, especially if you are using the water hose, definitely make sure that the temperature is not scorching hot, especially if your hose is sitting out. In my case, I'm not really using a hose for my main garden, but whatever method way of watering you're doing, make sure that you are actually giving your garden a decent water instead of just a quick little sprinkle over the top. If you have any other more questions during this season of your homestead, don't hesitate to drop them down below, and I would try to answer them the best of my ability. Until then, stay cool and stay hydrated.